Good morning, guys. Today we are heading to Croatia, but first to get there we have to go catch a ferry, then we have to catch a bus, then we have to catch our airplane in Athens. But we came down to catch a taxi to get to our ferry, and there aren't any here, so we're trying to navigate getting a taxi right now, which is a little bit more difficult. We've called a few times, and we're not sure if one's coming, so we're going to try to see if we can get a taxi down there because our boat leaves pretty soon. We see one coming up the hill, so we might be good. Go, go, go.
I can't believe we made it, but we are on the ferry. I was honestly really worried we were going to miss it, because then if we missed this, we were going to miss our bus, and then we were going to miss our flight. So I'm really glad we made it, because now I'm hoping we'll be able to catch all of our next transportation going forward.
So this ferry is going to be about an hour ride to Athens, and then like Aubrey said, we're going to have to catch a bus to the airport, which also be kind of a long ride. But if you want to see more about this ferry, watch our video coming here, because we already filmed and showed around this ferry, and it's super nice. This time we're going to hang out in the lounge that we did not even know existed until halfway through our last time that we were on the ferry, but it's really comfortable. So we're going to chill out here and then wait for us to arrive in Athens.
We just got off the ferry and the bus was right outside waiting, and so we asked, and this one does take us to the airport, and so we just got on the bus and we're going to pay on here. Super easy.
We did not know they would have us transfer the bus 3 times, but we have done that so far, but it's been super straightforward. They've just been hollering out that if you're going to the airport, get off and get on to the next bus. And so we've done that, made it really easy. But yeah, 3 buses, and but we're almost there. All right, we have arrived at the airport now, and it only cost us €4.40 each of us to have a ticket to get all the way here. Like I said, there was 3 bus changes, which is kind of crazy, but super straightforward. So now, I guess 2 hours later, we are off the ferry and off our buses. So we've taken taxis, ferries, and buses, and now we're gonna get in our airplane to get to Dubrovnik, Croatia. We do have a really long time until our flight, so we're gonna go in the airport and try to find some lounges, but it may even be too early to check in. We gotta go figure that out first. So yeah, we ended up being hours and hours early, so we have like 3 hours to kill, so we're just gonna go set. Luckily this airport is outfitted with a lot of restaurants and stuff, so we're able to sit down here and just relax. This is going to cut down on our lounge time because we can't actually drop our bags off until like 2 hours before our flight with this like cheap budget European airline. It's our first time flying them, but anyways, it will cut down on our lounge time, so we're going to try to rush in there as soon as we can get checked in. But for now, we're going to chill out here in this little coffee shop and wait it out.
So our gate isn't open yet, but we wanted to be the first ones in line, so we are at the front and we're ready to go.
So we had the longest security line ever to get our passport stamped, but we finally got through, and we have just about an hour till we're gonna start boarding, but we're gonna try to find the lounge. This way. It looks like there are 2 available, and then we are going to just chill out for a little bit. But today we're flying Volati, which is a budget airline here. I think it's an Italian budget European airline. So it's gonna be one of our first times doing that. Our check bags actually cost more than our actual flight tickets. And it was like $20 extra just for us to get seats together. So on this side we're also sitting separately, which is gonna be a first, I think ever for us to sit separately, but we'll manage just fine. So anyways, let's go find the lounge and let's see how it is and if we can chill out for just a little bit before we have to go catch our flight. So we initially went to the SkyServe lounge, and honestly there's a lot to be desired there. I think they were understaffed because like every table had trash and plates and things on it and nobody was cleaning it up. So we came right next door to the next lounge that we have access to. There's 2 lounges in Hall A where we are, and this one is way nicer. I think way better taken care of. The food also wasn't great in the SkyServe one, so hopefully this one will be a little bit better. We're gonna go check out the food and see if it's any better. We do have about 30 minutes till our plane starts boarding, so we kind of gotta hurry to get this done.
So we've never lounge hopped before in one airport sitting, and so this is kind of fun. I feel kind of fancy. But this one is definitely, I think, better. It has a bigger selection, and it just like feels a little brighter in here. So I like it. This is really great. We have like a huge dessert selection I'm about to devour, and I'm about to go get a cappuccino.
And the food's better too, I think.
Yeah, bigger selection, probably better choices.
Both of the lounges are small, but they're like, this one's more cozy,
Yeah.
I think. This one just, it just feels nicer too. Doesn't feel understaffed.
Yeah, that's true. I agree.
All right, so time to go try to find our gate. For the first time, like I said, Aubrey and I are gonna be sitting separately. So it's a really short flight, I think 45 minutes, but it will be different.
You're gonna miss me. So it looks like our flight is delayed by an hour. So we're gonna see if we can get back in the lounge. I think you can only go in one time and check in once per like flight, I guess. So I don't know if we're gonna be able to, but we're gonna try.
So we were allowed back in the lounge, so now it's lounge round 3. The reason they gave for the delay was something like a delay in the AC, but I don't think it's like air conditioning. I think it's something to do with like at the other airport. So we don't really know what's going on. They said just be back around 7:10, or they said be back at 7:15 for boarding, but maybe come back at 7:10 because it may be earlier. They don't know. So I guess we just need to chill in here for a little bit longer, and then we'll have to be heading to our flight. But we're having to let our Airbnb know that we're gonna be a little bit later. She did mention that she might charge extra money if you check in after 8, in which we were already gonna do, but now it's gonna be even later. So I guess we'll have to cross that bridge when we get there. But more cappuccino time. All right, here goes our second attempt at our flight now. All right, we made it to Dubrovnik, Croatia. Getting through the security and everything was super simple and easy. And now we're outside. We think we read online that you can take Ubers. And so we're gonna try to call an Uber. But the flight went okay, not too bad, really quick. Only about an hour, even though we were delayed, it still wasn't too bad. I was stuck in the middle seat, and so I wasn't able to get any views outside or anything. And then Aubrey had an aisle seat down by herself, which was super nice. She definitely lucked out.
I got really good views of the city. It was so beautiful. There are mountains in the background with the beach and the cliffs, and then like the red roofed buildings like all along the coast. It was beautiful. Really excited to explore. So picturesque. Sorry, Don.
So anyways, we're trying to call an Uber. We're supposed to go to our Airbnb. I think the lady's gonna be meeting us to check in. So we're gonna try to navigate this. We did have to go to an ATM and draw some kruna? I think it's Croatian kruna. So we drew out some cash because they don't take the euros here. So yeah, so let's try to get an Uber and see if we can get one here.
Finding our ride. Let's see.
So we ended up being able to get an Uber from the airport, and it took about half an hour to get across from the airport to where our Airbnb is. We ended up driving like right past the old town and got to see down into it.
And so far, great first impression of like the 30 minutes we've been in Dubrovnik. It just looks so beautiful with the mountains and cliffs right against the beautiful ocean with some islands in the distance, and the old stone buildings and the red rooftops, and we got to see the old town as we drove by, and it just looks like you could see all the city walls and the fortresses, and it looks really cool. So excited to explore. And we can just walk to Old Town from where we are at our Airbnb, and so excited about that.
Yeah, so from what our understanding is, Dubrovnik's becoming more and more of a tourist destination because Game of Thrones has filmed quite a bit here. Honestly, we have never seen a single episode of Game of Thrones.
We're like in the 1% of people who've never watched it, but we'll explore it for you and show you all of the Game of Thrones things. We'll do our research.
Yeah, in the airport and stuff was like all pamphlets for Game of Thrones tours and everything, and Airbnb experiences are all Game of Thrones tours. And our host here at our Airbnb was talking about it. She asked if that's what brought us here, and we're like, no, Rick Steves.
We found out later that Game of Thrones was filmed here. So
yeah, the old television. Rick Steves, he's the one who recommended it, so that's why we came here. But so we got checked in here. It's a really cool little place. Really sweet lady who owns this Airbnb. She showed us all around, showed us how to get to places. So we're excited to explore tomorrow and really check out Croatia for the first time.
Yeah, super excited.
So we hope that you enjoyed this travel day, and you'll get to see a lot more of Croatia in the future videos whenever we actually get out and explore. So thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please hit that like button and also hit the subscribe button so that you can keep up with more of our adventures. We would love to have you travel with us.
Night.